we've done the images. Now let's go ahead and go through the standard algorithm, because sometimes the images won't help you because the numbers will be bigger than what you can do. So what the algorithm tells us is we can use multiplying, dividing, addition to help us figure out the problem. So the first thing I do is, if I have a mixed number, the algorithm is going to be to multiply 12 times 5 and add 4. So if you think back to when we had the pictures drawn, we had, let's say, 2.5. Okay. I have 2, 4, 2 times 2 is 4. Then I add one more, so let's color these in. So 2 times 2 would be 4 plus 1. So the same thing would happen up here. I would do 12 times 5. So 12 times 5. And I want to be able to do that in my head typically. So I'm going to break that down, and I'm going to look at the problem as 10 times 5 plus 2 times 5. And I know 10 times 5 in my head would be 5 and 1 would be 50, plus 2 times 5 would be 10, which would equal 60. So I know 12 times 5 is going to equal 60 over 5. But I still have the 4/5 to deal with. So I add 60 plus 4, which gives me 64/5. So we go down here, 12 and 4/5 equals 64/5. I'm sure you really don't want to take the time to draw all that out. But like I said, if we go back to here, if I look at this, I have two figures that are cut into 2, so I multiply that to get 4, and that's the same premise as 12 times 5. But then I have that leftover piece in my image that I have to do something with. Now let's go to 21 divided by, 21.5. Now I know a fraction, this is called a division bar. A fraction is just a fancy division sign. This also is going to represent a ratio later as we learn. But 21 divided by 2 is what I have. So the algorithm for this is I take 2 and divide it into 21. How many 2's go into 21? Well, there are a couple different ways I can do this, but let's just go the standard way. I go over here and I go 2 goes into 2 one time, and if you ever need me to do long division, you can just have Mom let me know and I'll help you. This becomes a 2. I bring down my 1. Can 2 go into 1? No. So I have a 1 left over. Well, I have to account for that leftover 1, and I just bring it up here, and instead of writing an R for remainder, I'm just going to put it over my divisor. This is my dividend, this is my divisor. So it's going to become 10.5. So I divide the bottom number into the top, and my leftover remainder becomes my mixed number.